protests have erupted around the country ever since the Epping protests around a week ago, or whenever it was. There's been protests in Leeds, Ashfield, there's going to be one in Newark soon. I mean, it's really starting to take off, I think.
Big up to Pete Copway. Big up. These coppers are going to be getting gassed out down there. It's horrible, you know, the smell of it. It's rough.
We fought for you fuckers, for our way of life. Makes me sick. How many you on benefits? They treat them better.
Ever since the Epping protests. I mean, after the Epping protests, we had protests in Canary Wharf, which was good to see because that's where the migrants in Epping were going to be moved to, and now the people are protesting there. Seems like people around the country have really just had enough. And you know, politicians are talking about how we could have a summer of discontent, how we could have riots like we did last year, and you know, I don't think it will be as intense as it was last year. I mean, that was just something that we've never seen before, you know, ordinary British people coming out in their thousands to protest for their country. And you know, the interesting thing about that is that, you know, yes, the Southport killings technically triggered it, but it wasn't really about the Southport killings. I mean, you know, people were protesting outside the immigrant hotels, even though the killer was the son of immigrants that came here legally, right? The protest was just the result of years of being ignored by mainstream politicians. That's why the riots happened last year. That's why riots happening, well, not riots yet, but why peaceful protests are happening this year. Because, you know, last year, Keir Starmer dismissed everyone as far right when, you know, most of the people there just want their country back from foreigners. I mean, is it far right? Is it extreme to want England to be English? Is it extreme to want, when your children go to school, for them to be surrounded by fellow English, British children instead of foreign children? Is it extreme to, when you go walk around the town centre, to want to see local British family-owned shops instead of foreign shops? I don't think it is. And what the Southport protests have done is they've really normalised the issues of race and immigration. You know, they're still a taboo. And what the Southport protests have done is they've really normalised talking about race and immigration. I mean, they're still a taboo topic to some extent, but you can talk about it a lot more openly than you used to be able to, because what the Southport protest did is they made people realise that a lot of people out there think like them, you know, as nationalists. You know, a lot of people just think that if they oppose immigration, they're the only people that oppose immigration, because people just don't communicate with other people in their community as much as they used to. Whereas the reason why these protests are so good is that they make people aware that there are other people that think like them, that they're not alone, that there is a silent majority. Now, I do think that this silent majority gets overused a bit. I mean, I don't think the majority is that big as some people say it is. And in terms of remigration, we're not there yet in terms of a majority, but you know, the centre of public opinion is a big reduction in legal immigration, and so we just need to make people aware that that's what other people think, and which will lead to more protests, which is exactly what's happening this year. I mean, I have to give credit to Callum Barker of the Homeland Party. He seemed to be the one that was organising most of the protests in Epping. He seemed to be leading it, and you know, he might have started a national migrant hotel protest movement. So yeah, credit to him. You know, we need more people like him. And what I'll say to the people that are watching this video is, keep an eye out for any protests that are happening in your local area. You know, if you look on the local Facebook pages, you look on X, I mean, you know, you should be able to find out when protests are happening. And if there is a migrant hotel near you and you're well known in the community, people know who you are, you're active on the local Facebook page, then it's a good idea to start organising protests, I think. I mean, what we really need is a national movement of people organising these protests. And I mean, I know it might be easy for me to say. I mean, you know, I haven't organised any protests, I'm just making videos, but you know, people need to step up. And you know, if you don't want to organise protests, then you know, you can make content online, or you know, you could join a political party, although I don't think that political parties are the way to go right now. I mean, of course a nationalist party would be useful at some point in the future, but I think Reform UK is the only really option for the only real option that we've got for now. Is obviously, you know, I don't like it. They support net zero immigration, they have Zia Yusuf as their head of Doge. Reform's not what we need, but they'll do for now. I don't think that any nationalist party could compete with Reform. But hey, if you really believe in it, then sure, go and join a nationalist party. In my opinion, if you're going to join a political party, then join Reform and just, you know, try and infiltrate your way as to the top. Well, not obviously not to the top, but try and, you know, don't tell people about ethno-nationalism. Just try and get as high up the ranks as possible if you can, without people finding out what you really stand for. Because ultimately, Reform UK's voters, you know, a lot of them want ethno-nationalism. So you're not being dishonest. It's the political party of Reform UK that's being dishonest. They're conning their voters into thinking that they oppose immigration. And, you know, if you join and you climb up the ranks actually opposing immigration, you're just doing what the voters want. It's, you know, you're not being dishonest. It's Reform UK as a party that's being dishonest. Now, if you are going to go to some protests, I think it's worth talking about what not to do. Okay, first of all, do not turn up drunk. Okay, you'll make stupid decisions if you're drunk. And, you know, a lot of these protests are using slogans like protect our kids, save our kids. You know, I'm not far right, I just want my children to have a future. It doesn't look good if you turn up drunk with a bunch of skinhead friends. It's like, you know, the EDL was hated by most people, not because people actually disagreed with what they stood for, but because they were just, you know, football hooligan thugs. You know, if you are a bald man, middle-aged bald man, then yes, you can go, but don't be drunk, don't come off as too thuggery. I mean, we don't really need that. And I highly suggest you don't commit violence, especially violence at the wrong people. I mean, that's just stupid. Like, don't, if there's an ethnic minority that's walking past, don't beat him up. It just looks fucking stupid. You know, that's not what we're about. We're about, you know, we're supposed to be the party, we're supposed to be the side of respecting people and standing up for the rights of indigenous people, and about, you know, having a level playing field. You know, ethnic minorities have countries of their own. We want a country of our own. You know, we shouldn't be about beating people up or insulting people. Stay away from all of that, right? And yeah, just stay peaceful. You know, I think it will be really good if women and children went to these protests, because if it looks like a family event, then more people will come out. It will look more respectful, because, you know, nationalism has an association with, you know, men, and, you know, it's fine. You know, men should be in leading positions and so on, but women historically don't vote for anti-immigration parties, even though immigration affects women more than men because of the increased sexual crimes. You know, we're concerned about immigration because of the effect it has on women. So it would be really good if women did start going to these protests. And, you know, don't go in a balaclava, right? Like, it's not illegal to attend a protest. You're not going to get arrested. It just looks fucking stupid if you go there in a balaclava, and it turns off the ordinary people. So yeah, be respectful, don't be drunk, bring women and children with you, and yeah, have fun protesting. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.